In the lush and vibrant heartland of West Africa, where the verdant foliage dances in the breeze and the earth pulses with the rhythm of centuries-old traditions, the captivating tale of the Ashanti Empire unfolds with rich detail and profound nuance. It was a time of profound change and tumultuous upheaval in the 17th century, as the various Akan states grappled with shifting alliances, territorial disputes, and the looming specter of external threats. Among these states, the Ashanti people found themselves facing the formidable Denkyira Kingdom, a powerful adversary whose dominance cast a shadow over the region. The Ashanti Empire, a prominent Akan kingdom in modern-day Ghana, established its military in response to threats from the Denkyira Kingdom in the 17th century. Initially relying on traditional weapons like bows and spears, King Osei Tutu I introduced reforms, adopting tactics from other Akan kingdoms and acquiring firearms through trade with Europeans. Osei Tutu I, also known as Otumfuo Osei Tutu I, was a pivotal figure in the history of the Ashanti Empire and is often regarded as its founding king. Born in the late 17th century, Osei Tutu I rose to prominence through his leadership, diplomacy, and military prowess. Osei Tutu I's reign marked a significant turning point for the Ashanti people. He recognized the fragmented nature of the Akan states in the region and sought to unify them under a central authority. To achieve this goal, Osei Tutu formed a close alliance with his chief priest and advisor, Okomfo Anakai, who was instrumental in the spiritual and political aspects of the unification process. In a momentous ceremony held at the village of Fias, Osei Tutu and Okomfo Anakai invoked the spirits of the ancestors and called upon the leaders of the Akan states to pledge their allegiance to the Golden Stool. The response was overwhelming, as chiefs from across the region gathered to swear oaths of loyalty and solidarity. One of the defining moments in Osei Tutu's reign was the legendary ceremony known as the Golden Stool, or Sika Dua Kofi. According to tradition, Okomfo Anakai conjured a mystical golden stool from the heavens and presented it to Osei Tutu as a symbol of unity and divine endorsement of his rule. The golden stool became the sacred symbol of the Ashanti monarchy, representing the collective soul of the Ashanti people and the authority of their kings. With the golden stool as a unifying emblem, Osei Tutu I embarked on a campaign to consolidate power and expand the territory of the Ashanti Empire. Through strategic alliances, military conquests, and shrewd diplomacy, he brought neighboring Akan states under his authority, establishing the foundation of what would become one of the most powerful empires in West Africa. Emboldened by the support of his fellow Akan rulers, Osei Tutu turned his attention to the Denkyira Kingdom, determined to challenge its hegemony and establish Kumasi as the capital of the burgeoning Ashanti Empire. With the aid of his military commanders, including the legendary warrior Obiri Yaboa, Osei Tutu waged a series of campaigns against the Denkyira forces, reclaiming territory and expanding the borders of the Ashanti Kingdom. In Kumasi, amidst the bustling markets and towering citadels, the authority of the Ashanti kings found its most tangible expression. Here, Osei Tutu and his successors wielded their power with a grace and majesty befitting the rulers of a burgeoning empire, presiding over a realm that stretched far and wide, from the sun-drenched savannas to the dense forests of the interior. Osei Tutu I's reign was characterized by stability, prosperity, and cultural revival. He implemented a centralized administrative system, with appointed officials governing various regions of the empire. He also promoted trade and commerce, fostering economic growth and prosperity within the Ashanti territories. In addition to his political and military achievements, Osei Tutu I is remembered for his wisdom and statesmanship. He upheld traditional customs and values while adapting to changing circumstances, earning the respect and loyalty of his subjects. Osei Tutu I passed away in the early 18th century, but his legacy endured through the Ashanti Empire, which continued to flourish under the rule of his successors. His vision of unity, his leadership, and the symbol of the Golden Stool remains central to the identity and heritage of the Ashanti people to this day. But it was not just the grandeur of its capital that defined the Ashanti Empire. It was the strength of its people and the resilience of its spirit that truly set it apart. The Ashanti military, born amidst the crucible of conflict, stood as a testament to this indomitable will. Led by King Osei Tutu and his successors, the Ashanti army underwent a transformation, evolving from a disparate collection of warriors armed with bows and spears into a disciplined force equipped with the most advanced weaponry of the age. The Ashanti Empire was renowned for its rich gold deposits, which were mined and refined by skilled artisans. European traders, particularly those from Portugal, Britain, and the Netherlands, sought to acquire Ashanti gold through trade, offering various goods in exchange. Ashanti also traded other valuable resources, such as ivory, cola nuts. Firearms acquired through trade with European merchants found their way into the hands of Ashanti warriors, adding a new dimension to their martial prowess. But it was not merely the tools of war that set the Ashanti apart. It was the tactics and strategies they employed on the field of battle. From the dense forests that blanketed their homeland, they emerged as masters of guerrilla warfare, their decentralized approach confounding even the most seasoned adversaries. Yet, for all their strength and ingenuity, the Ashanti were not immune to the winds of change that swept across the continent. The encroaching shadow of European imperialism loomed large on the horizon, casting a pall over the once great empire. European powers, fueled by a thirst for wealth and power, set their sights on the bountiful lands of West Africa, seeking to exploit its vast resources and establish dominion over its peoples. The Ashanti, with their rich gold reserves and strategic location, became a prime target for European adventurers and traders. Initially, the Ashanti engaged in trade with European merchants, exchanging their gold and other resources for firearms and other goods. But as European influence grew, so too did tensions between the two powers. The Ashanti were wary of the encroachment of foreign powers on their territory and resisted attempts to undermine their sovereignty. In 1806, the Ashanti clashed with British forces in the First Anglo-Ashanti War, a conflict fueled by disputes over trade and territory. Despite initial setbacks, the Ashanti proved to be formidable adversaries, inflicting heavy casualties on the British and forcing them to retreat. But the tide of history was against the Ashanti, as European powers continued to expand their influence and assert their dominance over the region. In subsequent decades, the Ashanti Empire would face further incursions from European powers, culminating in the brutal Anglo-Ashanti Wars of the late 19th century. In March 1900, tensions escalated when a British governor, Sir Frederick Hodgson, convened a meeting with the Ashanti leaders and demanded the Golden Stool. In response, Santiwa, who was serving as the Queen Mother of the Edweso community, delivered a passionate speech rallying the Ashanti people to resist colonial oppression and defend their independence. Santiwa's famous words, "Is it true that the bravery of the Ashanti is no more? I cannot believe it. It cannot be. I must say this. If you, the men of Ashanti, will not go forward, then we will. We, the women, will. I shall call upon my fellow women." She said, "We will fight the white men. In the battle, we will battle until the last of us is destroyed," inspiring the Ashanti people to take up arms. Under Santiwa's leadership, the Ashanti launched a fierce resistance against the British forces, engaging in guerrilla warfare and besieging the British-held fort at Kumasi. Despite facing superior firepower and resources, the Ashanti fighters, including women, demonstrated remarkable courage and determination. However, the British eventually quelled the uprising, capturing Santiwa and exiling her along with other leaders to the Seychelles. Although the War of the Golden Stool ended in defeat for the Ashanti, Santiwa's bravery and defiance inspired future generations and cemented her legacy as a symbol of resistance against colonial oppression. Santiwa passed away in exile in 1921, but her memory and legacy continue to be celebrated in Ghana and beyond. She remains an iconic figure in African history, revered for her courage, leadership, and unwavering commitment to the freedom and dignity of her people. As the sun sets over the Ashanti region, the legacy of the Ashanti Kingdom remains a testament to resilience and culture. From Kumasi's royal halls to vibrant markets, its heritage thrives. Though colonialism dimmed its sovereignty, the kingdom's spirit endures in tales of leaders like Osei Tutu I and Santiwa. With drumbeats and Kente cloth, we honor its history and celebrate its lasting impact on Ghanaian identity. Though a chapter closed, the Ashanti Kingdom's legacy lives on, enriching humanity's tapestry. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a comment and subscribe.